The group chat notification hit my phone like a slap of sleet across the face after 12 straight years of being the neighborhood's unpaid caterer. I just finished a brutal double shift at River's Edge Medical Center, the automatic doors hissing shut behind me, leaving the sterile chaos of the ER for the freezing pre-dawn parking lot in Willow Creek Estates. Snow stung my cheeks, turning instantly to gray slush on the asphalt. My sneakers squelched, my feet throbbing in rhythm with the headache pounding behind my eyes. I was 34, a single mom named Emily Harper, held together by cheap scrubs and the faint smell of antiseptic. I dropped into the driver's seat of my 10-year-old sedan, the vinyl ice cold against my back. The engine coughed to life. Before I could even crank the heater, my phone buzzed again. HOA board chat. Victoria Langford, our beloved president, the queen of pastel pantsuits and passive-aggressive smiley emojis, had posted the final Christmas block party plans. Dear neighbors, we've finalized everything for the perfect holiday gathering at the community pavilion to keep the elegant atmosphere for our special city council guests. We simply won't have space for Emily and little Lily this year. It's just too many people, and we need everyone on their absolute best behavior. But of course, Emily, you'll still handle all the catering, the turkey, the prime rib, every side, and that cranberry walnut stuffing the board loves. Drop it off by 2 p.m. Christmas Eve. You're a lifesaver for Willow Creek. A second message popped up immediately. P.S. Remember the gluten-free options for the council members. And please confirm the wine order. Nothing cheap this year. I stared at the screen until the words blurred. No space. Best behavior. But still expected to cook. The blood drained from my face. 12 years. 12 years of single-handedly feeding every HOA Thanksgiving potluck, Easter brunch, 4th of July barbecue, and Christmas blowout. I'd driven to 3 different stores for the exact organic turkey Victoria demanded. Spent my only days off roasting prime rib that cost half my paycheck. Baked dozens of intricate sugar cookies she later passed off as board effort at her charity teas. Every receipt was still in a shoebox under my bed. Groceries, wine, linens, even a ridiculous $500 deposit for the pavilion bar service she forgot to pay back. The real reason clicked like a lock turning. Lily, my brilliant 8-year-old autistic daughter who could recite the entire Tokyo Metro map after one glance and spent hours drawing perfect train schematics that lit her up like fireworks. 2 months ago at the last board meeting, Lily had shown Victoria her latest drawing, the Shinjuku Station transfer points that save 4 minutes. Victoria had patted her head without looking. That's nice. Dear, the adults are talking. Then she'd pull me aside, fingers digging into my arm. Emily, sweetheart, you understand we have standards. Lily's enthusiasm can be disruptive. For property values. For the image. Image. That was code for your daughter doesn't fit the flawless suburban postcard. Stimmying, loud train facts, chalk drawings on the driveway that technically violated the no visible markings rule. Victoria had cited every petty HOA statute to make Lily invisible while still demanding I keep the parties perfect. I sat in a freezing car, breath fogging the glass, and laughed once, a short, dry sound that tasted like rust. 12 years of indentured servitude disguised as community spirit. My divorce 3 years ago had left me drowning. Victoria had swooped in with fake sympathy. Come back to Willow Creek. Dear, the HOA will help with Lily. We're family here. So I came. Got the nursing job 10 minutes away. Enrolled Lily in the good local school. The help turned out to be an anchor. My weekends became her errands. My credit card her event budget. My labor the glue holding her perfect image together. Lily loved systems, trains, maps. Anything with elegant efficiency. The last block party, she tried explaining her drawing to Victoria. The light in her eyes dimmed when she was dismissed. I'd said nothing, just gone back to basting the turkey. That shame still burned hotter than any oven. The phone buzzed again. Another message. This one private from Victoria. Emily, your list for the wine is in my email. And if you're still looking for board gift ideas, I saw the perfect engraved HOA plaque. I didn't text back. I didn't scream. I simply turned the volume down, down until the phone went silent. Then I powered it off completely. For the first time in 12 years, the unpaid caterer was going dark. The snow kept falling, but inside the car the silence was absolute. The sound of a trap finally snapping shut. I drove home through the silent snow-covered streets. The world blue-gray in the pre-dawn light. My apartment smelled of lavender and the faint cinnamon from Lily's favorite blanket. She was asleep, door cracked, buried under her London Tube map quilt, breathing deep and even. My anchor. I shed the scrubs like contaminated skin, took a shower, so hot it turned me red, trying to scrub off the hospital and Victoria's casual cruelty. It didn't work. Black coffee in hand, I opened my laptop. The folder labeled HOA evidence had started innocently. Photos from events, but over the years had become an archive of exploitation. Screenshots of every demand. Emily, could you possibly pick up the dry cleaning for the board meeting? You're not busy, right? Emails about just a few things that became full grocery runs. The $500 bar deposit I never saw again. I dragged in tonight's messages. Side by side with last month's, we simply could not manage Thanksgiving without you. You're a miracle worker. The contrast was nauseating. Miracle one week, uninvited staff the next. I opened a new spreadsheet, Willow Creek Annual Ledger. Column by column, I rebuilt the truth. January New Year's brunch, $112. February Valentine's event, $280 in champagne, she claimed as board tradition. March birthday barbecue for the vice president, $315 plus gift. Every holiday, every emergency favor. By sunrise, the total for 1 year alone flashed, $12,180. On a night nurse salary while raising an autistic child whose last therapies my insurance only half covered. My checking balance, $5,124. I had subsidized their perfect image while they erased mine and Lily's. Rage wasn't hot. It was Arctic clarity. I created a subfolder, manipulation cues. Screenshots of Victoria's "We're family" text next to the exclusion message. This was armor for the guilt that would inevitably come. Next, work. I drafted an email to my unit manager. 3 days personal leave December 23rd to 27th. Coverage secured. I flagged the possibility of HOA board members calling the hospital with fake emergencies. They are manipulative and may invent crises. No information whatsoever. Sent. One line of defense up. For Lily, I prepped notes for her counselor. Knew no contact protocol with the board. Especially Victoria. School to block their numbers. Then I browsed warm places for Christmas and saw it. An ad for Santa Fe, New Mexico, with train packages on the legendary Southwest Chief. Maya, Lily, would lose her mind. I calculated. The money I'd budgeted for this year's HOA blowout, prime rib, wine, decorations, gifts for the board, totaled $3,200. The exact price of the 2 sleeper car tickets, hotel room with fireplace, and train journey. The price of my servitude was the price of our freedom. I clicked confirm booking. The next 48 hours were artificial calm. I worked, read Lily's stories about the Paris metro, kept the phone dark. I knew the vacuum wouldn't last. Victoria abhorred silence. The ambush came where I least expected, but should have predicted. The hospital. 3 hours into my Tuesday night shift. Charting vitals at the nurse's station. Her voice sliced through the beeps like a dropped scalpel. Emily, I have been calling for 2 days. Victoria stood at the red line. Wool coat still on. Face flushed. Purse clutched like a weapon. You are ignoring the board. Do you have any idea the position you've put us in? The council members are expecting a full spread. The butcher needs confirmation. A few nurses glanced up. Shame tried to crawl up my neck, but the cold resolve held. Victoria, this is a restricted patient area. You cannot be back here. She stepped forward anyway. Do not dismiss me. You owe this community Christmas. Security guard Marcus materialized at her elbow, big, quiet. The same man who jump-started my car in a blizzard 2 winters ago. Ma'am, this is a secure ward. Patient privacy and infection control. I must ask you to return to the lobby. Victoria's eyes narrowed. I am speaking to my neighbor. After everything the HOA has done for her. The lie hung there. Everything they'd done. I'd paid for it. My manager, Candace, appeared. ID badge gleaming. Mrs. Langford, Nurse Harper is on duty. Your personal matter cannot be addressed here. Her leave is approved. Security will escort you if necessary. HIPAA concerns apply. Victoria deflated visibly. The word report and the threat of public record hit her like a freight train. She hissed at me. You will regret this, then spun on her heel. As Marcus walked her out, I slipped my phone into my pocket and hit record. Her muttered parting shot, she knows I cannot manage this alone, was captured crystal clear. I saved it. Leverage. Back in my car at shift end. I trembled with adrenaline, but felt something new. Steel. The board chat exploded. 72 messages of demands and guilt. I didn't open them. I created a filter. Everything from Victoria or the board moved to cold storage. Silence. Beautiful silence. That night, I practiced in the mirror. I'm not catering this year. Lily and I have other plans. The words felt solid. One last call to the butcher. Cancel the standing HOA order. Remove my card. It will not be me. Click. Done. The days after the hospital ambush were a new kind of quiet. No frantic grocery runs. No midnight basting. Just my regular shifts. Helping Lily with homework. And the undisturbed peace of my silenced phone. I realized I was lonely, not for the board, but for real connection. On impulse, I texted 2 colleagues, Dr. Amari and his wife Nora, the pediatric speech therapist. Last-minute spaghetti dinner Thursday. Low-key. Their instant, we'd love to. Can we bring salad? Made me smile. Thursday night. Anxiety fluttered as they knocked. I opened the door, bracing for the old voice in my head. Don't let them see Lily stimmying. I pushed it down. Nora handed me wine and salad. It smells amazing in here. Lily looked up from her Tokyo Metro schematic on the floor. Hello. Did you know Shinjuku Station serves 3.5 million people daily? I tensed. Instead of dismissal, Amari crouched down. No kidding. How do they manage the JR line transfers? Lily's face lit up like sunrise. For 10 minutes, they geeked out over passenger flow design, while Nora and I listened in the kitchen, grinning. We ate messy spaghetti at my tiny table. Lily explained color coding for express versus local trains. They asked real questions about her, about me, not what I could do for them. When they left, Nora hugged me tight. Best spaghetti in years. And Lily, show me Paris next time. Lily whispered after the door closed. They listened. My throat tightened. Yeah, baby. They did. At work the next night, the atmosphere had shifted. Marcus gave me a solid nod. Someone left an energy bar with a note. Figured you could use this. Then I saw the box at the nurse's station. Inside, a hand-carved wooden model train station. Tiny shingles and clock tower perfect. A card in collage handwriting. Thinking of you and your little conductor. You're the strongest nurse here. Have a real holiday. Your hospital family. I ducked into the supply closet so no one would see the tears. Not sadness, relief. Someone saw Lily's passion as a gift. Not a flaw. I joined an online support group for setting boundaries with toxic communities during holidays. One dad shared phase no contact. I already had cold storage and the evidence folder. It felt like armor. My real-world support was growing too. Neighbor Mrs. Ellis in the mail room patted my arm. You look lighter somehow. If you and Lily go anywhere for the holiday, I'll water plants, no charge. Neighbors help neighbors. Candace emailed the formal leave approval with a PS. Enjoy the peace. Well deserved. I sat on the sofa in the quiet apartment and finally let myself feel the space. The void wasn't grief, it was possibility. I opened my laptop and clicked confirm on the Santa Fe package. 2 round-trip tickets. Sleeper car. Hotel with Kiva fireplace. The exact $3,189 I'd saved by canceling the HOA order. The price of 12 years of servitude bought our freedom. I laughed out loud, loud enough to startle myself. The phone, now back on silent, vibrated. Unknown number. We know you canceled the roast. Leaving the community at Christmas is betrayal. You will not be forgiven. Screenshot. Into evidence. Blocked. When Lily came home, cheeks red from the cold, I crouched down. How would you like to ride a real train? A huge one across the country to Santa Fe. Her eyes widened. A sleeper car? She ran for paper and pencils. Already drawing a map labeled Real Holiday. The flight to Chicago was jarring. But Union Station felt like a cathedral of movement. Lily vibrated with joy, decoding the departure boards. We boarded the Southwest Chief. The conductor tipped his hat, handed Lily an official junior passenger card. Your job, make sure we run on time. She nodded solemnly, clutching it like treasure. As the train pulled out, clack, clack, rhythm starting, I caught my reflection in the window. No invisible apron of guilt weighing me down. Just a mother and daughter. Passengers. Free. The train carried us across plains and mountains into the desert magic of Santa Fe. Lily's face stayed glued to the window, sketching every curve. At the El Mirador Hotel, the adobe walls glowed golden in the indigo dusk. We checked in, fireplace crackling, and for the first time in weeks, I let myself breathe. But my nurse brain knew the war wasn't over. I checked defenses. Email to Candace, all quiet at work. Reply, HR flagged everything. We got your back. Stop checking and enjoy. Email to Lily's counselor. Protocols in place. Reply, perfect. Enjoy the peace. Then I opened the HOA neighborhood Facebook page. Victoria had posted a masterpiece of performative grief. With the heaviest heart, I must share that Emily has had some kind of breakdown and abandoned our community traditions just days before Christmas. She has taken Lily and run off, refusing contact. A family, excuse me, a neighborhood has had its heart torn out. Please pray for her. The expected sympathy chorus started, but then the tide turned. Residents posted, wait, I heard Lily wasn't even invited. How was that abandonment? Emily cooked every event for 12 years. Why exclude the child? This doesn't add up. Victoria went silent. The post backfired spectacularly. A private message slipped through from the vice president, Victoria's daughter figure on the board. You set our world on fire. Caleb's father, the child psychologist, read your ledger and called it classic emotional and financial abuse. He postponed his support for the event. My wedding, my social standing, is in ruins. Can we just talk? Screenshot. Evidence. No reply. I was on my schedule now. Then the final desperate weapon, legal threat. Victoria's email. Since you have absconded with Lily, we are exploring emergency guardianship options for her safety given your erratic behavior. My blood ran cold for exactly 1 minute. Then triage mode. I forwarded everything, the exclusion text, the ledger, the recorded mutterings, to the hospital's free legal aid. Reply 3 hours later. No legal merit whatsoever. Classic intimidation. Do not reply. Enjoy your vacation. Save as PDF. Armor strengthened. The next assault came that evening, a burner call. I answered on mute. Victoria's husband. Voice thin and panicky. Emily. She hasn't slept. Hasn't eaten. You have to fix this. Call her. Make the food. I can't manage her like this. I unmuted just long enough for the death pronouncement voice I used at 3 a.m. In the ER. I'm a cardiac nurse, not your wife's emotional support animal. Your marriage is not my emergency. Click. Blocked. While the digital war raged, real life unfolded in quiet beauty. Lily and I explored winding streets, bought hot cider, spent hours in a map shop where the owner discussed Mercator projections with her like an equal. That night, the hotel offered a stargazing tour. Under velvet black desert sky, the guide pointed out Orion's belt. Lily raised her gloved hand. It's a celestial transit system. Orion's the hub station like Shinjuku. You transfer to Taurus or Canis Major. The guide's laser clicked off in stunned silence. Then, 20 years doing this, and that is the best analogy I've ever heard. Lily glowed. I wrote in my journal, a map is always true. Sometimes you just have to look up. The final package arrived by FedEx. A handwritten letter on thick stationery from Victoria's daughter. You owe me for 12 years of covering for you. You burned everything I built. I laughed dryly. She wasn't angry I stopped the labor. She was furious she now had to manage her mother herself. Screenshot. Evidence. Then an accidental email from a charity committee member. Victoria isn't answering. Can you send a family cocoa van recipe and vendor list? We're lost without you. Proof in writing that Victoria had taken credit for my work for years. Dragged into evidence. My phone buzzed. Candace, HR follow-up complete. You are fully protected. Direct order. Enjoy your last days. Lily brought me a drawing, a perfect map of the hotel. For Louise at the desk, so no one gets lost. We delivered it together. Louise pinned it proudly behind the concierge station. This is art. Miss Lily. Her face glowed. I sat by the Kiva fire and wrote one line in my private journal. The gratitude debt is closed. I am stopping the payments on my life. December 24th. For 12 years this day had been hell. Elbows deep in turkey by 5 a.m. Phone exploding with last-minute demands. Uninvited from my own neighborhood's table. This year I woke in Santa Fe. Pinion smoke and clean desert air. Lily sketched the hotel's plumbing system in a patch of sunlight. I felt unnerving calm. I called the concierge. Booked the Anastasia private dining room for 7 p.m. Tonight. 10 guests. After breakfast, I printed 3 massive posters on the hotel's large format printer and mounted them on foam boards. First, 12-year timeline of HOA holiday labor. Every event listed in cold facts. Second, the annual ledger. $12,180 in 1 year. Total compensation 0, 72-point font at the bottom. Third, top 10 manipulation cues with direct screenshots and consequences. I arranged easels by the entrance. I emailed the entire HOA board and key residents. Formal invitation to a special holiday resolution meeting at the El Mirador Hotel. Anastasia room. 7 p.m. I will not be catering. This is your opportunity to discuss as a community. Treat Lily with respect or do not come. Replies came fast. Victoria, a bullet list of menu demands. Prime rib medium rare. Gluten-free. Specific pies, assuming I'd caved. Screenshot. Exhibit D. The vice president. I'll be there alone. And then from a board ally. Caleb's father. The child psychologist. Would like to attend professionally. I type back. All welcome. Reservation for 10. At 6:55 p.m. Lily and I walked the hall. She carried her seating chart drawn as a subway map. Holiday Express line. Everyone has a seat. No end of the line kitchen station. Candace and her husband were already there. Brunoha, Amari, two parents from a support group, and Mrs. Ellis, who I'd flown out. My chosen family. The board arrived. The vice president first, eyes landing on the posters. She whispered, "My God, Emily." Victoria swept in last. Cream suit perfect, charity cards in hand, ready to perform. Her smile froze at the easels. What is the meaning of this tacky display? I stood, voice steady, professional. Thank you for coming. For 12 years, I have catered every HOA event, spent my own money, my own time, while my daughter was excluded for standards. Tonight, I sit at the table for the first time. These are not displays. This is the bill. This is the ledger of $12,180 I subsidized for the privilege of being used. This is proof my labor was welcome, but my child was not. Dr. Arden, the psychologist ally, spoke gently but firmly. Victoria, as a professional, I must tell you, the greatest damage to a child is not their autism. It is the shame adults place on it. Victoria shrieked about protecting appearances. The vice president turned on her mother, tears streaming. What appearance needs no seat for an 8-year-old? Lily slid off her chair, holding her subway map. Grandma, everyone has a station. See? No kitchen stop. Everyone connects. Victoria stared at the innocent drawing like dynamite. Her husband placed his phone screen down on the table in surrender. Just sit down. I'm staying. Victoria's face crumpled. I will not. She grabbed her cards and stormed out. The door clicked shut. Silence. The old indentured me screamed to chase her. I stayed seated. I opened my laptop, hovered over the scheduled 8:55 p.m. Mass email to every resident with a ledger and screenshots. Dead man's switch. I looked at the broken but free faces around the table and clicked cancel send. The truth was already in the room. Dinner arrived, roasted chicken, rosemary, garlic, hot. I hadn't cooked it. Candace raised her glass. To Emily in a new year with no gratitude debt. Lily leaned against my arm. I had my seat. Mom. I took a bite. It was perfect. The silver-on porcelain click echoed clean and sharp. The sound of a new key turning in a lock. Outside the window, the desert night stretched endless. Tomorrow, Lily and I would ride the train home. Maps in hand. No rules except our own. Willow Creek could keep its perfect lawns. We had finally drawn our own lines, bright, colorful, and unbreakable. The HOA Karen's empire had crumbled, and for the first time in 12 years. The neighborhood would have to learn how to feed itself. Justice tasted better than any prime rib I'd ever roasted. Thank you for listening to my story. Where in the world are you right now? Drop a comment so we can connect. Please subscribe, like, and hit that hype button so more people hear how one mom finally stood up to the HOA Karen.